WWE is introducing a new major championship. Randy Orton was written off TV on last night's SmackDown, and a Bloodline versus Bloodline match has been set for WarGames. Stay tuned for all the wrestling news. During last night's SmackDown, we got confirmation that WWE will be introducing a brand new mid-card championship. Now, this is a title that has been very long overdue, I feel, especially when you look at the roster size.
We've been talking about it for a long time and wondering why it hasn't happened yet, because speculation's been running wild about it for a good amount of time.
For a very long time. It feels like there's always talk that this is going to happen, and it has finally happened.
The 24/7 title's back, everybody.
Back! Excited! No, it is, of course, the WWE Women's United States Championship. As I said, long overdue that we would be getting a mid-card championship for the women's division. The division as a whole is very large. They've got a lot of names in there that just don't get utilized as well as they could, because WWE doesn't seem to like putting them in storylines without a title relevant.
Yeah, it's just sort of, we have the depth now, and I think that it's one of those where it's just been something fans have wanted for so long that you may as well give it a shot, right? We've had the women's tag belts. They've been sort of handled very poorly at points. But at the same time, this is different. I feel like this is a much more streamlined way to feature more women's storylines in the product. And
well, this was announced by Nick Aldis on last night's SmackDown. We've had a few reactions on social media. First off, Chelsea Green has already got her sights set on the championship. She tweeted, "Okay, Nicholas, I've seized every moment, so hand it over." This is in response to Nick Aldis saying that the talent that gets the title belt needs to seize the opportunity. And I feel like Chelsea Green has done so. And she also tweeted to Triple H, "I don't want to be presumptuous, but she would be best around my waist. Mr. H, take that into consideration." Alongside Green, Mitchin, Piper Niven, and Natalya have all praised the introduction of the championship and expressed interest in going for it. Chelsea Green was the first name that I thought of.
Yeah, first one that came to mind. At the same time, I think it's something I could see being very beneficial for Michin. I think that it would put her in a central role again, which I feel like she's not really been featured in that central role for quite some time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, either way, it's very exciting. I think the belt looks great, as you can see on the screen behind us. The white belt, there's just a white strap on the US Championship.
Looks so much
makes
better.
It look so good. It makes it look so good. It's so much better than the men's championship. But I'm very excited to see what they do with that championship. But we do now have a comment from The Rock. He was speaking a Lad Bible, wasn't he, Sam?
Yeah, so he's given an update to Lad Bible about his return to WWE. Why not us, Dwayne?
Yeah, why not?
Why not us?
Give us a scoop, Dwayne.
Lad Bible. He said, any opportunity I can go back and not only make appearances, but help to expand the company, whether domestically or globally, I always go back. It's also part of my obligation that I happily do.
I feel like
it's a non-answer, isn't it?
It's a non-answer, but it does tell us something, is that he is, one, obligated to make a certain amount of appearances. He is obligated to do that, and he will be back soon.
He's a stockholder now, isn't he? So it just makes sense that whenever he appears, business goes up. So he's helping drive the price of the stock up by appearing. So
and increasing his own money.
Yeah, so it makes him kind of want to appear more, maybe.
It's just very strange how we had that one appearance at Bad Blood. We've not had much. My guess would be he does make an appearance at the end of WarGames.
Yeah, there was obviously speculation about whether he is or isn't going to be involved at all in Mania. There's a lot of rumors that he could be popping up in sort of like a light role, but he's not going to be in a featured match or anything. But it's weird. But at the same time, I guess keep it as a surprise each time, unless you're going to announce it.
Absolutely.
And, want a massive full house.
Keep it as a surprise. So it gets that pop.
Yeah,
right. It gets that pop. But we'll maybe speculate a little bit about more of that later on. But we do now have a huge update on the WWE ID contracts and how that kind of works in relation to AEW. There's been a lot of questions whether these talents would be able to appear on AEW, whether that would impact if they got an offer from AEW. Well, Post Wrestling has revealed that there is no restrictions to talent under a WWE ID contract, and they are free to do jobs on shows and take bookings with whatever company they like. When directly asked if those talents could work AEW as extras, it was said that WWE would not prevent talent from taking those bookings, which I think is a very smart thing to do on behalf of WWE in regards to these contracts.
It would feel very restrictive to kind of go, no, you can work for anybody, but you can't work for them.
Which We have seen WWE do before. We saw this about 8 years ago, if you recall. I think you're all too familiar.
I'm very familiar with it. But alongside it, the Wrestling Observer also reported that the idea behind the ID contracts is to sign names that WWE feels have potential as early as possible, quite clearly. These deals are being compared to the next in line deals that provide the talent with some income, and it allows the door to be open between the talent and the company. The idea is apparently that if anyone under these contracts is offered a contract by AEW, New Japan, TNA, or another company, then here we go. Then WWE has the first right of refusal, and it can either cut the talent loose and let them go wherever they want, or bring them to NXT. And also, if talent are signed from outside of this affiliated school system, they're apparently going to look to move them to a school that they're partnered with.
Yeah, the wording that I think they've expressed is encourage them to move to other schools. So I can understand that you want to bring them sort of in-house to one that you've gone, hey, look, you will get the best training at these schools if you're not part of us. I can understand them wanting to have that protection of the, hey, we've got right of first refusal. I'd be very interested to know how much income these talents are making. To justify doing that. Understand if WWE is your dream and you go, hey, look, they've offered me this contract. That's huge. You're getting some money and you've got that opening in the door.
And you got to imagine it's going to involve a lot of stuff at the performance center, regular kind of back and forth with the company. So it's a positive thing. I'm very excited 100%. To see where it's going to end up.
But we'll keep you updated on that one in case we find out some more information about the WWE ID contracts. Now we've got an update on some news that broke last week. We were sat here discussing some releases, obviously Baron Corbin, Indy Hartwell, and Tegan Knox. And as per the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the feeling backstage towards Tegan Knox WWE release is that despite being a hard worker and a good athlete, she never managed to recover from the injuries to both her knees that she experienced 5-6 years ago now, maybe even longer, that she suffered in the Mae Young Classics, both 1 and 2. This has resulted in her being cut from the company. It sucks to see her go. I think we're both quite fans of Tegan Knox because of her time in the independent scene in the UK.
And this is the thing: is it's a loss for WWE, but it's going to be a massive gain for the independent scene as a whole. Seeing, I imagine she'll be back to Nixon Newell.
Well, we already know she's back. She's back in December. Is Nixon?
Back in December, working for Attack.
That's right.
So, it's hit the ground running, and can't wait to see her on the indies again.
Can't wait to see what happens there. Now, during last night's SmackDown, we did see Randy Orton being written off TV with an injury at the hands of Kevin Owens. This was because of a pile driver. Now, WWE put this over as a banned move.
Yeah, they're going back to you're not allowed to do that.
Not allowed to do it.
Especially not to Randy Orton. It's like a deadly move to Randy Orton. There's one talent you shouldn't be hitting. Never move on. It's Randy Orton.
It's Randy Orton. I did enjoy the fact that they put over how dangerous it was to Randy Orton, and they were like, that's a banned move. You can't do a pile driver. Following the impact of the move, Orton sort of lay motionless and was wheeled out off the arena on a stretcher. And later in the night, Michael Cole informed the audience that Orton was at a local medical facility.
Not a hospital.
Local medical facility with serious injuries, and he was being evaluated for an undisclosed cervical injury. I think obviously they're playing off the real life injury that kept Orton out the ring for almost 2 years. Yeah,
which is it's near the knuckle, but a lot of the best wrestling storylines blur those lines. I like that they're protecting the pile driver again. It means if we see it, it's going to be rare, and when it gets busted out, it's going to be very powerful.
It's going to be shocking, right?
But what if Owens just starts busting out a pile driver on the reg?
I hope he starts busting out a package pile driver on the reg.
Well, this is it. He's already kind of assuming the Austin position with the stunner. Let him just start screwing over all the rules. Let him just run
keep
wild.
Doing it. Obviously, this is going to be built into the inevitable Kevin Owens Cody Rhodes match, looking like it's going to take place at Saturday night's main event. Maybe this is just to keep Orton out of that way so that you can get that big return when it looks like all hope is lost for Cody. But both guys look to be in that title picture going into the new year. But rounding things off, staying with SmackDown, we did have somewhat confirmation that we're getting Bloodline versus Bloodline at WarGames. Now, it wasn't made official by WWE.
Nope.
But it was confirmed by both teams.
Yeah, they went, well, we don't know what the company wants to do, but we're going to do this. Originally, Reigns wanted to challenge Solo to a singles match to determine who the true tribal chief was, but Solo declined and then proposed WarGames instead. So, I mean, it's kind of like, why would you want that toy, Roman, when you can have
this one? You can have all
toys.
This chaos. Now, originally, it looked like we were going to get a 5-on-5 match because Solo was like, hey, you need to find 4 other people. And then Reigns was like, what do you mean? And then Solo, he was like, well, Sami Zayn, my dog, is on our team. Zayn comes out, looks like he's going to attack Reigns, but no. He goes for Solo. No escape. He goes for Solo, and we've got the Bloodline reunited.
And feeling oozy.
They are feeling oozy. They raised the ones, and it feels...
Just love how Sami Zayn has just ended up in the middle of this.
He's an honorary Anawahi.
Honorary Oos.
Honorary Oos, indeed. Yeah. I can't wait to see this match play out. The Bloodline has always been great in WarGames. We had that match 2 years ago. No, God, 2 years ago now. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I think... there's a lot more story to tell, even if some people are getting slightly sick of it, now that we've got this Bloodline back.
As long as it's chaos amid the melodrama, and it's not 90% melodrama, then we're fine.
Yes.
Do all the emotional talking, but while you're putting somebody through a table.
Yes, do all that. Well,
just mic them up and everything.
I love when a wrestler's mic'd up. It's great. But that is going to be happening at Survivor Series WarGames. But in the meantime, Sam, we are doing a giveaway on our Patreon.
Could it possibly be the biggest giveaway ever, Fraser?
I think it might be the biggest giveaway. Oh,
how are you going to... It's certainly the biggest title in all of wrestling.
Can you see that, people?
Let's put it on the table for them.
On the table. So... if you would like the chance, let's prop this.
Let's just hold on. Listen.
It's big. Heavy. It's heavy. We are doing the biggest giveaway of, oh my God. Biggest giveaway on Patreon for all tiers. If you're signed up to our Patreon at any tier, you're in the chance of winning this. For full terms and conditions, go to cultaholic.com/Patreon-TCS, and you could be in with a chance of winning this historic piece of Cultaholic history.
It does have straps as well.
It does have straps.
You can put it around your waist. It's just very, very awkward. It's got side plates and everything, but you can't see them because the belt's so big.
It's huge, but yeah, join us on Patreon for your chance to win this incredible piece of wrestling history. And I'm so amazed by this.
How are we going to post it?
I don't know how we're going to post this, but someone will be winning it.
15 eagles to it and fly it directly to your house.
We're going to take some time to put this back on its holder, because this is massive, and we will see you later on for more wrestling news.